Hey there! So my husband and I are planning an 8-week trip to Europe. We are leaving in about 5 days. So our first stop is Iceland, and we are going to be in Iceland for a week. We are renting and living out of a camper van. So I wanted to show you what I packed. Trying to pack as small as possible, as compact, because obviously there's not a lot of space in there, and because we're going for 8 weeks in Europe, trying not to take a lot of extras. So the thing with Iceland is that the weather can change on a dime, and I hate being cold, and I want to make sure that I'm not cold, but I also don't want to take everything. So here's what I have. I have you can see I have three packing cubes. So I love Tim and Finn and their tripped compression cubes. I will try and link that here, but you can just look it up, Tripped with Tim and Finn on Amazon. So what am I taking? Our plan is that we're going to just be able to grab and go with our packing cubes and throw them in a backpack and jump in the camper van. This is my outerwear, and I have little tags on it, so it'll be easy for me to figure out what I've got. Here's what I'm taking: a hat. So the weather, I looked at the weather, and it's going to be in the mid 40s to 50s, but like if it's raining or it's windy, it can get really miserable quickly. So I've got my trusty Columbia rain jacket. I have these shoe covers. I like to call them shoe condoms because that's kind of what they're like. But basically it's this rubber waterproof shell that you can stretch over any pair of shoes. So you will notice that I've got my tennis shoes, and I also have a pair of rubber boots. Now, I might kick myself later. I'm not taking hiking boots because I don't want to drag it around the rest of our trip because I'm never going to use them again. So hopefully this will go well. So I've got these waterproof shoe covers. Then my husband found these handy dandy waterproof socks on Amazon, and he actually tested them in the shower and they totally kept his feet wet. So worst case, at least our feet will stay dry. I also have gloves. We're going to be taking a Zodiac tour out on the water, and it could be really cold. Again, I said I don't like to be cold, so I have a neck gaiter. And then these waterproof rain pants, also an Amazon purchase. They're super attractive, but they're going to keep us dry because we're going to be going to lots of waterfalls and walking under waterfalls, and we don't want to get wet. Other outerwear that didn't fit in there, I have this fleece layer, okay? I'm really debating about this one because it's not like it's winter there, but I also have a packable puffy jacket with a hood, and I just don't know if I'm going to take it or not. I hate being cold, but I also don't know if it's overkill. If I've got on long johns and a sweater and my fleece and my raincoat, am I going to be okay? Then to pack it all back in, I have both zippers undone so you can see it gives you more depth, and you just start layering your stuff in here however. So now I have all of my stuff back in here, and I'm just gonna zip the top, this top zipper, and then you've got the compression zipper that you just kind of zip that one up too. There we go. So now my outerwear is all packed again. Here are all my tops and bottoms for the week. I am bringing 7 pairs of underwear, 7 pair of underwear. So I have a pair of leggings. I have a top shirt that is like a sun shirt, nice and light. I also have a t-shirt. And then I have 2 sweaters, a black sweater and a tan sweater. And I have a pair of hiking pants. I keep totally overthinking, like if I'm taking too much. I mean, it's really not that much, but I also don't want to take too little. My last pack is my swimsuit and underwear and socks. We are going to 2 spas while we're there at the very end of our trip, which will be awesome because after living in a van together for a week, we're gonna need that relaxation. So I have 2 pair of wool socks. They're super, I hate wool because I hate itchy, but these are really soft. They don't itch at all. And then I ordered some underwear on Amazon that are paper thin that I know will be really easy to wash and wear. Like I said, I'm taking 7 with me for Iceland, so I won't need to wash, but I will after that. And then I have my swimsuit, also an amazing Amazon purchase. Got my swimsuit for the spa, and a trusty pair of shower shoes because nobody wants to walk around the spa barefoot, so flip-flops. So this is my backpack that I'm taking with us. We are also taking 1 small carry-on suitcase and 1 larger suitcase. But our goal is when we get to Iceland, when we land, we're just going to grab our backpacks and our 1 small case and go. So I've got my compression cubes. I can fit in here. Keep in mind, I don't have my toiletries, but that will go in our other bag. And if need be, I could use the other bag for, you know, my shoes or whatever. Flip-flops, stick those in here, down on the bottom. See if I can stuff my tennis shoes in. There we go. Slip that up a bit. So as soon as we get back from our trip, I will add on to this video and report back what worked, what didn't work. Was I nice and warm? Was I freezing and wet? So stay tuned, and also tune in for the rest of our 8-week adventure in Europe. As promised, I am back to give you a review of my clothing packing for Iceland. And I have to say, it turned out really well. I pretty much wore everything that I took with me, except for those rubber shoe covers. I never used those. My biggest tip is waterproof, waterproof, waterproof. It literally can be sunny here 1 minute, and the next minute it's pouring rain. So the workhorse were these pants, these waterproof pants. They're not cute, but I wore them every single day and they kept me dry and also helped cut the wind. Also, my Columbia rain jacket, it's really thin, which was perfect because I actually wore it over my puffy coat. This puffy coat was not waterproof, it's water resistant, but I wore it day 1 and it got wet like through the seams and stuff. So what I ended up doing was wearing this under, and then I would put the raincoat on top, and literally the rain would just fall off this. I could shake it off and be ready to go the next time I needed to wear it. The other thing that I would say is a must is a fleece because the wind is brutal here, and this really does add such a great layer to keep you warm and keep that wind from kind of biting through your clothing. I wore these boots literally every single day. I got these at Walmart for like $25 and they kept my feet dry the whole time. I even walked one day out to this abandoned airplane. It was a 4-mile round trip, and all the other walking we did, my feet never really got sore. I will say they're not super cushiony, but for $25, they totally did the job. I wore my tennis shoes one day and I regretted it because we ended up, it was a dry day, but we had to walk through some snow and stuff. So I should have just worn these or carried the shoe covers with me, which I did not do. Oh, one more thing. Waterproof gloves. My gloves were not waterproof and I literally could wring them out after we were out in the wet. So my beanie, I wore it every single day. This is a Columbia beanie and it has like a thermal layer in it and then some fleece, which was great. So even though it was raining, my head never got wet. It never came through and it kept that wind off my ears. You know, you can't be fashionable here because you're literally going to be in a coat and rain pants every single day. So if you want to change up your look, I'd say bring different beanies. I wish I would have had like an Iceland beanie, but I wasn't willing to spend like the $35 for it. So if you happen to be shopping before you come to Iceland, you could always get something that looks Icelandic. Just look up an Iceland beanie and you can just see the prints, or an Iceland sweater. They're not cheap. Even at the thrift stores, we hit the thrift stores afterward thinking, oh, we'll find, you know, some discounted things, and no, they're all still super expensive. So the links to most of the things that I wore on my trip and that I purchased will be provided down below in the information. So feel free to check it out.